have never been more compelled to wash my hands than I have these last few weeks. I don't know, maybe it's been the constant use of hand sanitizer or that 20-second scrub that we've all become so accustomed to. Nevertheless, I've become aware that there is stuff on my hands, like stuff I can't see, that can harm me. Well, today we're going to pick up the story in the Gospel of John. And Jesus has just gathered his disciples around a table to eat the Passover meal together. But he does something unexpected, something pretty profound, something a little off-putting even. He removes his outer garments, takes a towel and places it around his waist, and then he begins to wash his disciples' dirty feet. John 13 says this: Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going back to God, rose from the supper. He laid aside his outer garments, and taking a towel, tied it around his waist. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel that was wrapped around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, do you wash my feet?" Jesus answered him, "What I am doing you do not understand now, but afterward you will understand." Peter said to him, "You shall never wash my feet." Jesus answered him, "If I do not wash you, you have no share with me." Well, that removal of the outer garment, the wrapping of the towel around his waist, the Lord of the universe assumed the lowliest position. He became a menial servant. He washed the dirt off their feet. But this is something maybe a wife would have done for her husband, maybe children for their father. But a teacher to his disciples? Even more, a God to his creation. This was an event that foreshadowed what he was about to do for the sake of his disciples, for Israel, for the entire world. The God through whom all things were created was about to serve that very creation as he humiliated himself, as he was rejected, as he suffered and died a criminal's death on the cross. The blood he would spill would wash deeper than any hand or foot washing ever could. It would cleanse more than just dirt and germs and viruses. His body broken, his blood shed would provide the remedy for the deepest sickness known to man, sin. A corruption that had worked its way into the very fiber of our beings, the symptoms of which are pain, hurting, suffering, wars, division, hatred, and broken relationships. The list goes on and on and on. I guarantee you felt its ramifications, and it has 100% mortality rate. This pandemic has reminded us there's stuff we can't see that can and does harm us in profound ways. Our sin sickness is that ultimate invisible disease. And Jesus' sacrifice on the cross is the only cure. We're concerned these days, and rightfully so, with washing the germs from our hands. Jesus' mission, he was concerned with washing the guilt and sin from our souls. I don't know about you, what you're going through today. I don't know where you've been in your life. But I do know that the only remedy to life's biggest problem, to sin, to death, and the devil, is at the foot of the cross, where the God of the universe loved you so much, where he pursued you and was willing to humiliate himself, to shed his blood, to cleanse you from all of your guilt, your shame, and the sickness of sin. In these next couple of days, I invite you to go with Jesus from the garden to the cross, to the tomb, and then beyond. And may the Holy Spirit open your heart to receive from Jesus the cleansing that only Jesus can offer.